In product management, we're totally obsessed with the launch. But what happens on day 2, or day 200? What happens after all that confetti settles? Well, that's what we're going to dig into today. The absolutely critical, ongoing work of building and maintaining product trust.
The second a customer says yes and actually starts relying on your product, your job completely changes. It's not just about shipping features anymore. It's about upholding a promise. Let's take a look at what that really means.
So yeah, launch isn't the finish line. Not even close. It's the starting gun. This is where the real work begins. You're navigating the messy, complicated reality of customer feedback, bugs, and that incredibly crucial, fragile thing right at the center of it all, trust.
All right, so what is the single most important, yet so often unspoken responsibility of a product manager after the product is out there in the wild? Let's be super clear about this. Product trust? It is not some fuzzy feel-good thing. It's a hard metric. It's an outcome you can actually measure, just like user engagement or your conversion rate. It either grows and compounds or it erodes with every single thing you do. And as the PM, you own it. Okay, so if we agree that trust is a real measurable outcome, let's take that idea one step further. I want you to start thinking of trust as a core feature of your product. And just like any other feature, it has to be designed differently for different kinds of users.
Think about it. In the B2C world, trust is all about emotion, right? When your favorite app glitches, it's annoying, for sure. But if they fix it fast, you forgive them. But in B2B, whoa, it's a completely different universe. Trust is operational. A failure isn't just an annoyance. It's a line item on someone's P&L statement. It can cost your customers real money, and the stakes for recovering from that failure are sky high.
So if trust is that critical, how do we actually build it? Well, it all starts with understanding the unwritten rules, all the promises your product is making without ever saying a single word. Look at this list. Every single one of these things is a promise. Your marketing copy, that sales demo you gave, the simple fact that your product worked yesterday, all of it creates an expectation for how it's going to work tomorrow. A PM's job isn't to make bigger, grander promises. It's to relentlessly, obsessively align expectations with reality. Now, in the B2B world, these promises often get really formal. They turn into actual contracts, and it usually happens in 3 steps. First, you have the SLI, the service level indicator. That's just the raw measurement, what's actually happening. From there, you set an SLO, a service level objective. That's your internal goal, what you're aiming for. And finally, that can become an SLA, a service level agreement. That is the formal, external promise you make to your customer, the line you guarantee you will not cross. And this is the part you absolutely have to get. These are not just some techie metrics for engineers to track in a dashboard. They are trust contracts. They're commitments that actually constrain your roadmap and have very real-world consequences. Chasing some shiny new feature at the expense of a promise you've already made, that is always a losing game.
Which, of course, brings us to the inevitable part, when things go wrong. Because, let's be honest, they always do, sooner or later. No product is perfect. And this right here is where a PM's ability to manage trust is put to the ultimate test. Your customers can handle limits. They understand things aren't perfect. What they can't handle are surprises. So, saying no to a feature request because you need to protect the product's stability, that is not a failure. That's a trust-building exercise. It shows you're prioritizing their long-term success over just giving them a short-term yes. Here's the thing. When stuff breaks, your customers aren't expecting you to be perfect. What they do expect is professionalism. They want transparency. They want accountability. They want clear communication. And, maybe most critically, they want to see evidence that you've actually learned from the failure. Remember, how you behave during the crisis often matters so much more than the crisis itself.
Let's tie all of this back to the thing everyone cares about, growth. Because managing trust isn't just about playing defense and preventing churn, it's a proactive strategy. It is the single most powerful engine for sustainable growth you have.
You know, when you break it down, it's actually incredibly simple. Trust has a direct impact on your bottom line. Reliable products create retention. Setting clear, honest expectations reduces churn. And that honest communication we just talked about, that forges the long-term relationships that are the real foundation of any great business. Growth isn't just about acquiring new users. It's about building a product that people can truly count on. And that right there, that's the final crucial distinction. Managing a roadmap when everything's going smoothly is one thing, but truly owning customer trust, especially when things are messy and imperfect, that's not just product management. That is product leadership. So ask yourself, are you just managing features or are you leading with trust?